Aside from being blessed to play so many places around the world, so many different countries across 5 different continents, I have truly been blessed to have met so many wonderful people along the way. And that to me is just as important, if not more important, than the music itself. But the music is the great common denominator.
I just teared up a little bit listening to that. I was just sitting here thinking like, am I in the same group of people of Quincy Jones and Randy Jackson? Welcome to the Recalibrated Soul podcast. I'm Barbara Dale, your energetic engineer and metaphysical bestie. I am here to lift you up, clear the path, and help you raise your frequency down to the cellular level. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to a special interview episode. Today, I have a very dear friend of mine on the show. He is a world-renowned DJ and producer and sound engineer with a very storied career spanning over 5 decades. He currently hosts a show on House FM London called Doin' the Do. Please welcome to the broadcast, Parrish James.
Wow.
Hey, Parrish.
Who is this guy you're talking about? I really want to meet him.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I've met him once or twice.
Girl, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. First of all, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for having me as your first guest. I am humbled and honored.
Well, you are very welcome, and I'm very grateful for your patience. I'm just going to go ahead and tell everybody we've had some technical difficulties, and this is actually our second go-round. And of course, it was beautiful, and it's like, oh man, we just had some recording issues, and it didn't save properly. So here we are again, and I've decided that we're going to try to make this a highlight reel of Parrish's career. So he goes by DJ Parrish James. His actual name is Parrish Wintersmith. And previously, he was one half of the world-renowned duo, the Groove Junkies. We met in 2004. Parrish and Evan, his then partner, were headlining the Movement Festival that's annually held in Detroit, which I helped to start back in 2000 as the marketing and PR director. But I met Parrish as he was in the office trying to get paid. And and I don't know, when the stars align.
You along with Kevin Saunderson.
Yes, Kevin Saunderson. And I was his publicist for many years. So, when you meet somebody and you just click, that's how it was with Parrish and I. And here we are 22 years later and reconnected after a long gap, but that doesn't matter. So let's talk about, I know we could talk for hours, and we do.
Yep,
we talk for hours
which we do.
on a regular basis. So
we don't talk, we dance, call it.
Yes. So let's talk about your show. How did that come to be?
What happened there was my relationship with House FM stems back. You mentioned that we met in 2004. Well, it was either a year prior to that or 2 years prior where, as I was part of Groove Junkies, we played House FM's first anniversary in London.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, and so it was a different regime of people running the ship at that time. However, the current regime, when I reached out to them about doing a new show, or a show, rather, starting last year, they were completely on board with it without hesitation. They welcomed me back with open arms, and I've been with them ever since. It's been a very, very cool ride with them. I do 4 shows a year. And
We're trying to get them to do more. At least I'm trying to talk them into it, but everything is a lot of work, right?
Exactly. It's,
yeah.
As you know, I don't just slap these shows together. So
I know take deep pride in your work. Which is what makes you who you are, which is what makes you successful. Because I think a lot of people do slap things together. Like me, I could have just worked with what we did and said it's fine. But no, we're fellow perfectionists, so we see eye to eye on many things.
Absolutely.
And actually, sorry, I'm going to
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Plug myself for a second. So when you tune into Parrish's show, you'll hear a familiar voice in some of the show drops, which would be yours truly. So thank you. Thank you for asking me, which, actually spawned and launched my new voiceover career. So thank you.
You have quite the irresistible voice. So
well, thank you, my friend.
So there's that. Yeah.
So you can tune into the show. It's on Wednesdays. If you go to housefmlondon.com, is that the website?
It is hse.fm. So short for House FM, hse.fm. And once you're in there, you hit the live player and voila, you are immediately transported into the radio world of House FM. Whatever happens to be playing live at the time.
Right. And there is search engines, search bars that you can look for. And it's Parrish James, not Parrish Wintersmith. So make sure you search for Parrish, Parrish, James. And the show is called Doin' the Do. And it's a wonderful compilation of house music from all different areas of the genre, gospel house and soulful house, and a lot of jazz-inspired tracks. And actually, there's a lot of Detroit love in there.
Oh, we run the gamut. Afro, disco.
Please take over. Go ahead.
You have Afro, disco. I'll bang it out a little bit on some shows depending on how I'm flowing. So yeah, we run the gamut with that show. When I DJ, one thing that I love and appreciate about the show is that it is truly indicative of how I actually love to play.
When you say how you're flowing, do you mean do you pick a track that's kind of your anchor for the show and program it around that?
Well, usually I end up with several anchor choices.
Okay.
It's a 2-hour show. So,
yes.
In terms of the anchor choices, to use your term, once I get my anchor choices, then two most important things, my anchor choices, and then how do I want to start the show? Those are my two most important aspects. Once I figure those two aspects out, then I just go from there.
Okay.
And however the flow ends up afterwards, that's what it is for that particular show.
So it's a different journey every time.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's all good, soulful house music. You'll even hear some deep stuff in there on occasion.
Yeah, it's always delicious, no matter what it is. I always love jamming in the car. It's really good.
Coming from you, that means a lot. Seriously.
Thank you. I have a certain taste in my genre of music, so what you play is right in my wheelhouse, my preference.
Oh, now you're just saying what you think I want to hear.
I'm not, though.
But you know what? Say it again.
Say it again.
Say it again.
So let's talk about some career highlights. Your time with the Groove Junkies. I mean, y'all had global, massive success, including a remix for Rihanna. Tell us more about that. How did that come to be?
Well, the Rihanna remix, that happened around 2008.
Let's take it back a little bit then. You and Evan were both DJing at the same club in Los Angeles, yes? That's how you met?
Yes, there was a club in Santa Monica called Gotham Hall where I was a resident, and Evan was brought in to do Friday nights. That's how we met initially. That was around, I want to say, 98 or 99. So a couple of years after that was when I decided to join forces with him because he had already been doing the Groove Junkie thing prior to us even meeting. So he had done records and things like that prior to he and I joining forces.
So why do you think he brought you in if he was already a successful entity on his own?
Well, we had like minds in terms of what we loved and appreciated about the house music genre. I think he appreciated the flavor that I brought to the table in terms of my production skills, my musical skills, because I'm actually a classically trained musician.
Yes, that's right. He's been playing professionally since he was 13 years old, folks.
Being educated musically in the public school system, where I was blessed to be able to take advantage of all of that from a very, very early age. I started reading early, took music theory classes in high school.
So you're a well-rounded musician altogether. As far as a DJ, you're not just playing records. You're doing so much more than that.
Absolutely. I believe that Evan appreciated a lot of those aspects.
Sure. So obviously, when you two joined forces, something magical happened. It worked.
It did work.
You caught the attention of a lot of major record labels, right?
Major record labels, but initially the underground and ultimately global dance house community.
like Ohm Records.
Yes.
And then you started Morehouse Records, your own label, yes, and released a lot of tracks on your own label.
Morehouse Records was first, and then the relationship with Ohm came later.
Okay.
So, yes, chronologically, that's how
there was something in between that we talked about before. Sulfuric?
Oh, well, yes. Sulfuric was the very first thing that occurred, which led to the creation of Morehouse Records.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Morehouse Records ended up being the first outside label that was distributed under the Sulfuric umbrella.
I see.
And so that gave us instant recognition, particularly in Europe and in the UK, because at that time, Sulfuric they were running things in the UK.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So that's what really put you onto the global map was Sulfuric Records, which then caught the attention of Ohm, which then caught the attention of Rihanna and other artists.
Let's not forget Frankie Knuckles.
Frankie Knuckles. That's right. Tell us about Frankie.
Frankie Knuckles ended up being one of our most ardent and faithful supporters. In Frankie's own words, Frankie would say to people, I was on to Groove Junkies from the ground floor. He was absolutely honest about that. In fact, he was playing our productions before the start and establishment of Morehouse Records. So Frankie was already traveling all over the world playing our stuff.
That helps, doesn't it?
Yeah. So something else to add to the credibility piece of this.
Sure. When you have somebody of that caliber backing you, so to speak, or
he was
vouching for you.
Right. He was only the godfather of house music. So
just the godfather.
Yeah. And also we did several remixes for Frank. I would say at least 3. Yes.
I didn't know that. I learned something new about you every conversation. But wait, there's more.
I promise you, it's not like I'm holding out on you.
Oh, I know. There's just so much to tell. There's just so much to talk about. Like, where do we start? What do you want to focus on? But keep talking. Frankie.
He was one of our most faithful supporters. And one quick story. You know the WMC parties in Miami.
Yes, I do.
Frankie's DJing at the Def Mix party, right? Mm-hmm. And at this particular party, he plays, I counted at least 5 or 6 Groove Junkies projects.
Wow.
That either they were original Groove Junkie projects or they were Groove Junkie remixes in a 2 or 3 hour set. It was a wonderful experience.
And I'm sure all the who's who were at that party.
Yeah,
anybody who was anybody or wanted to be anybody was in that room.
Yeah, everybody was in the room that night. And folks were coming up to me. Yo, Frankie dropped so much. I can't say exactly how people said it. I can't regurgitate it exactly, but you get the gist. And it was just one of those magical, blissful nights, you know. Mm-hmm. As a fan and a lover of house music, I'm on the dance floor and I'm thinking, wait, is that one of our tracks coming into the mix? Me. Yo, wait, is that another one? Wait, is that?
Oh, that's awesome.
So after his set, I just ran to the booth and gave him the biggest hug. Frankie really loved us. It was such a wonderful relationship.
That's awesome.
He was such a blessing to us. He really was. Rest in peace, Frankie Knuckles.
Speaking of special relationships, Parrish could name drop. I don't have a good metaphor right now. But you could name drop for days. So one of the things that I found out recently was your relationship with Randy Jackson. So beyond the DJ booth, Parrish is first and foremost a musician. And he was a studio musician, touring musician, and he spent years touring with the great Randy Jackson. So please tell us, tell me more. Tell us more.
Well, Randy, I met during my tenure with a band that I used to be a part of. A lot of folks don't know that Randy is a phenomenal bass player. One of my all-time favorite bass players, in fact. And so me being a drummer, when he and I met, two of us hit it off instantaneously. There was that symbiotic bass player / drummer thing that clicked between the two of us right away. And so when the band that I was in broke up, literally the first person I called was Randy. I said, hey, man, the band's done. Anything that you can put me on to or whatever, let me know. And then he says right away, so what's your availability? I said, I'm available right now. Well, what do you have in mind? He goes, I need to put a band together to go out on the road. My immediate retort to that was, are you playing bass? He goes, yeah, for now I am. Well, count me in. I didn't even care who the artist was.
Who was the artist?
It was Sophie B. Hawkins.
Nice.
And I toured with her somewhere between 6 to 8 months.
I have a question. My philosophy is that we have choice points along our journey in life. And at some point, you're going to come to a fork in the road where you can go left and you can go right. You chose to call Randy Jackson. Did you have another person in mind that you were maybe going to reach out to, or was there just no question?
There were a few others that I had in mind, but I think because of the symbiotic relationship, bass player / drummer relationship, plus at the time he was also a record executive with
So he was the logical choice.
I think so. At the time, yes.
Because I often wonder, what if I hadn't have made that decision? Where would my life be? Parrish is originally from Flint and then moved to Detroit and moved to Los Angeles when he was 18. So yes. I was just thinking I moved to LA when I was 21, and then I moved back here when I was 28. But I just think, what if I hadn't have made that leap? My entire life would be very different, you know?
Same here.
Yeah, so tell me about some of those pivotal moments in your life that changed everything.
I think the major one was moving from Michigan to Los Angeles. I knew early on when I was a kid what I wanted to be, which was a professional musician. And I knew that in Michigan, I was not going to be able to really accomplish that to the extent I was thinking, right? Or the extent that I was imagining. So moving to LA was a crucial fork in the road. I would say that was quite the pivotal moment in my life that changed everything.
Well, and you were so young. Yeah. I think it takes a lot of people decades longer to finally do what they've always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm 57 years old and just coming back to voice acting. And I think I was doing this 30 years ago. What if I kept on that road?
It's funny how circular life can be. That's right.
Yeah. Full circle moment here.
Right.
One of the things I like to teach in my courses and meditations or activations is to try to have the courage to just take those leaps and take those chances and to kind of eliminate for the next generation, eliminate some of those years in between of swimming in the muck. You know, allow yourself to float to the surface, allow yourself to have the courage to take the leap.
Well, for me, I agree with all of those things that you just said, but let me add an addendum to that.
Okay.
Something that I always think about is I don't want to be that person that gets to the end of their life with regret.
What it coulda, shouldas. Yep.
I should have made that choice. I had the opportunity and I didn't take it. I never want to get to that point in my life and have those thoughts swimming in my head. I can only imagine how painful that would be.
It sounds to me like you've really done all the things that you've set out to do. Is there anything on your bucket list that you're still wanting to do as far as career-wise?
You know, I haven't thought about it like that. I think what it is for me is that I've had such a wonderful journey throughout, and I'm still on the journey. So what's the word that I'm looking for? I'm not content, but
sounds like you are content.
I don't have any regrets. I'm at a point in my life now where here's something that's very important. I want to live out the rest of my days. And this even extends into my friendships with what I'm about to say, friendships and relationships. I'm at the point in my life where I want to be happy. I want to be happy because I'm telling you, that reflects in whatever you're doing. Being happy for me, the way that I interpret that is dealing with people, whether it's in a work environment or a relationship environment, being with people, being with folks that there's a positive camaraderie. Everyone embraces one another. That makes the situation a lot smoother to navigate through. Sure. I've been in work situations where it was the opposite, and I'm speaking musically here. I tell you, I didn't like the results of the music, from those environments. It really comes through, whatever you are experiencing on a human level, a vibrational level, that transfers into the music. I mean, because music is vibrations.
Absolutely.
Air, frequency, all that stuff.
That's what this show's all about. Yeah.
Right. So whatever you're bringing into the part, pardon the pun, but whatever you are bringing to the party, that is going to seep into the cocktail, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like to say that there's infinite versions of our lives. Everything, your past, present, and future, all exist at the same time. And within that, there's unlimited versions of that particular outcome. It's depending on the frequency that you are currently vibrating at is the result that you're going to get.
Right. So hence the reason why I am where I am today with that outlook in terms of who I want to roll with, the type of people that I prefer to roll with moving forward. Mm-hmm. So if there is anything on my bucket list, it's that.
Is what?
Well, whatever it is that I end up doing next.
Okay.
May
it be of the highest vibration and frequency.
Yes, there you go. There you go. That's absolutely crucial for me these days. Because again, you're pretty much guaranteed a good outcome in the final analysis.
Yes, if you're following your heart and doing what lights you up, it will take you on the highest timeline, the highest road, the highest outcome, the best outcome possible.
I mean, let's just take making records, the process of making records, for example. If we're talking about creating an original song from the ground up, there's a lot of work involved in that. There's writing the song, there's putting the song together, even before you get to the point of recording it. So you're talking about a lot of hours of chiseling away, working with others to get to an end goal. So if you're working with someone or a group of people, you are together for hours, days, weeks, months sometimes, when you're talking about making albums, so to speak.
Sure. So you have to be on the same wavelength.
Right. And so I want to be in the room with people that are cool, to put it in simple terms. We are all of the same high frequency mindset, to use your terminology.
When you're in the studio or when you're creating a track or an album, do you know before it's done, like, this is the one? Do you have a sense of whether something's going to be a hit?
I'll be honest. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. I know what feels good to me. I know what hits me in a certain way. But you have to let the public decide. Sometimes,
I know, but like deep down, you're like, yeah, this is the one. And if you've gotten that feeling, were you right?
There have been times where I have been right, yes. But that hasn't happened every time. But when it does happen, it's the most wonderful thing. I can't even lie about that.
When all the stars align and everything works out perfectly.
But there was something that Quincy Jones used to say when it comes to the process of making records. It is so apropos. You have to allow space for God to walk into the room.
And you've been in that room with Quincy.
Yes, I have.
I know he's so humble. I can't get this story out of him. Will you tell it today?
I'll try to keep it short.
I finally get to hear it.
From the band that I was in, we were blessed to have spent a whole day with Quincy Jones at his house, having dinner. And Quincy was literally a walking, talking human encyclopedia. You ask him a question and he could just rattle off the answer, but then he could expound on it and go on and on and on and get into deep detail about the subject. And
sounds like someone I know.
I had so many questions for this man because for me, Quincy, in terms of writing, arranging, producing, Quincy was and still is to this day my top guy. I was
going to say he's the master. Yeah.
Tip top.
So why were you at his house for dinner?
He wanted to sign our band, the band that I was in. Yeah. I'll stop there with that.
All right. You'll tell me why off the air. But how exciting. And you were young, right? How old were you then?
I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Probably 25, young. 26.
Yeah. How amazing to be 25 years old and sitting at the dining room table with Quincy Jones. There's not too many people that can tell that story.
Well, to take it full circle, I said earlier in your show, I knew what I wanted to accomplish, and it wasn't going to happen. Being with Quincy Jones would not have happened had I stayed in Michigan. So when I was, one thing that I kept thinking in my head sitting in his house, wow, the move was worth it.
Of course.
The relocation was worth it.
Well, listen, and having lived in Los Angeles, It's worth it. I still miss it. It's so beautiful.
Why don't you move back?
I know. Well, maybe
I know, easier said than done.
Well, my son's a little bit older. I'd like to at least have a little studio apartment overlooking the ocean someday as a secondary home. My writing house. Let's put that out into the universe. And so it is. So yeah, speak as if and act as if it's already happened.
Right.
I'm just going to take it back. So when you played the festival, the Movement Festival in 2004.
Movement Festival. Yes.
Was that a defining moment? Because I told you, listen, guys, Parrish is so humble. And I said, you have to be somebody to headline the festival. It's just how it is. It's got to be someone with some notoriety or some fame or some sort of celebratory success attached to it. But being from this area, being from the city, like, what did that mean to you? Because I know what it's like staring out at the bowl filled with people and all the lights. It's just magical. It's a magical experience. So what was that like for you as an artist to be playing on that stage in your hometown?
Playing a festival where you are presenting yourself before large, humongous crowds of people, in and of itself, you're already leveling up just from the type of event that it is. Right? And the magnitude and the energy that you get from so many people being all in one place.
And you're a headliner.
But
that's a big deal.
Then you add all of the additional factors. Being a headliner of Movement, Detroit being, home for me. I had to hold myself together during the whole set. I almost cried during, there were several times.
Where was your mom? Was she like
on
the stage with you or in front dancing?
All of my folks were in the audience. My mother, father, my sister, nieces, nephews, they were all there. And my family likes to party. So
that's a party.
Let's see. Well, my father, I don't think he was familiar with house music, but after that, he became a house head after the festival.
I can see how that could happen.
It was wonderful having all of them there to experience that moment with me. It was the icing on the cake. But then after the set, I meet Kevin Saunderson and you. So you and I wouldn't be doing this right now had the Movement Festival not happened. So I'm grateful for all of those things.
Well, I like the way that you reframed that. That meeting me was equally as important, satisfying, whatever, as headlining the festival.
It's really true. I mean, aside from being blessed to play so many places around the world, so many different cities, different countries, across 5 different continents, I have truly been blessed to have met so many wonderful people along the way. And that to me is just as important, if not more important, than the music itself. But the music is the great common denominator, if you will.
Mm-hmm. The music is the driver, the connector. Yeah. Oh, I just teared up a little bit listening to that. I was just sitting here thinking like, am I in the same group of people of like Quincy Jones and Randy Jackson?
Well, you if I've never told you before, I'm telling you now, Barbara, you are special to me.
Oh,
You're very special to me. I appreciate your friendship. And I'm thankful that it has endured since 2004, even though there was a lapse.
There was a gap.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell the story of how we reconnected. So I was at Deo Studio, my makeup studio and spa in Birmingham, Michigan. And I was doing a facial and my phone is always on Do Not Disturb. And I saw it light up and I looked and I saw Parrish's name and I was like, Parrish Wintersmith. Oh my God. And I listened to
Is that really what you said?
I did. I even said it out loud to my client. I was like, I'm really sorry, but like an old friend I haven't talked to in years is calling me right now. Like, wow. It just seemed so out of the blue. And I called you back. And when I did, you told me the story of, so he was in town because his sister had passed away, which very sorry. So it got him thinking about me and trying to find me, which of course he didn't think to just Google, but that's okay. The way you found me is so much better. So after he flew back, he dug through a drawer of old phones, like pulled out an old flip phone, and then had to find a charger for it and pray that it fired up. And it did. And then hope that that was the right phone and that my number was in there.
Right.
And it was. And then hope that it was the same number.
Yep.
And it was.
Yep.
But I was like, so you waited until you flew all the way back across the country to find me rather than while you were still in Detroit. Okay.
Oh, see, you had to put a dig in there.
I just think it's funny. Like Google, but put my name in. I'm not that hard to find, but
while I was
it's a
there,
great story.
Well, while
I know
I was
you were
there
there for a different reason.
I was only there for a few days, and it was at that time it was all about
Yes.
my sister and taking care of everything that was entailed with that.
Yeah.
And so it was on the flight, literally on the flight back, where you've got that time to sit and think and gather your thoughts. That's when it hit me. I need to reach out to Barbara when I get back to LA.
And we probably talk at least once a week ever since and talk for hours and hours or dance, like he says.
Well, our schedules don't always align, but, we try.
But when they do, I've always said, I wish we could just be recording these conversations because we've talked about so much. And every time we talk, even just today, like, oh, really? I didn't know that. And I mean, just when you said you've DJed in 5 continents, like, dang, that's quite an accomplishment. So let me ask you this. Do you prefer playing live like playing drums, or do you prefer DJing? Or, door number 3, do you prefer being the producer and the audio engineer? Because I know you produce other artists.
Oh, Barbara.
So we didn't even talk about that yet. Your microphone in front of the TV during, what was the show?
Say it again.
I said with your little microphone and your tape recorder in front of the TV.
Oh,
recording.
When I was a kid, recording Don Kirshner's rock concert.
Yes.
That was when the audio engineer bug hit me.
So of the 3 facets of your life, what would you say fulfills you the most? I
honestly cannot. See, okay, I'll answer it this way. I hope I don't ever get asked this question or it ends up being some kind of stipulation. Hey, you're only confined or relegated to one thing, Parrish.
No, I was just curious because I'm the same way. I have multiple careers. I always have.
I honestly would have to put playing live as a musician
first,
playing live as a DJ. I would have to put those in the same category. I can't elevate one over the other. Now, as an audio engineer, I do both live and studio engineering, but I prefer the studio environment. Why? Because it's a little more control. In the live setting, you're constantly on alert just in case you have to do what I call put out a fire.
Right. You're at the mercy of all the things happening at once.
You're right. And in a live setting, it's far less controlled than a studio environment. In a live audio situation, anything can pop up, and you have to be able to suss it out and deal with it, troubleshoot it, deal with it, resolve it quickly. Otherwise, you're not good at your job. But although I love engineering live, I would prefer the studio environment over that.
The live aspects makes it a little bit more stressful.
Yes.
I have a question that I don't think I've asked you. How did you become a DJ? When did that transition happen? So you're out in LA and you're playing in your band and the band breaks up. Was that the next step or the next transition in your career? Like, how did you start playing records?
Well, mind you, growing up, I was always the kid that had to bring the records to school. So I was a DJ from early on.
Right. So you were, I remember now, you were simultaneously DJing.
Yeah. So, but.
And I guess you were in LA, so you were in the right place for it. And I mean, you played at some big clubs, well-known places.
Well, I was going to answer your question by saying once the band called it quits around 92, that's when I started playing a lot of the clubs, local clubs in LA.
Okay.
And I ended up playing at the best spots at the time. And I mean, any DJ in LA who was worth their salt played these spots, whether it was Tattoo in Beverly Hills, Bar One, Roxbury, Century Club, Gotham Hall, Santa Monica, Renaissance, Santa Monica, and then a lot of spots downtown LA. So I crossed the circuit.
And while you were playing them, I was living there and I went to a lot of those places. And I think that's crazy because we didn't meet for another decade.
You were probably in the rooms.
I was.
Yeah.
Gotham and Century Club for sure. Mm-hmm. I just think that's interesting.
I guess it wasn't meant for us to meet at.
No, not yet.
I'm a firm believer that things happen when they are supposed to happen.
When they're supposed to happen.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that.
I am too.
You're not the first person to say to me, hey, I was there at that time. I was there too. I was in this place at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that said to me time and again. And you just added to that list. Funny how that works.
So what else? Is there anything else that you want to talk about in this first edition? I'm sure I'll have you on again.
Well, if we could just bring it back to the House FM show.
Yes.
If we could bring it back to that.
Close how we started. Please. Go ahead.
Let's see. What date will you drop this interview? Do you know?
I don't know. You tell me. You tell me when you want it out, and I'll release it that day, Parrish.
So if you can get this show out prior to my next House FM show again, which is August 19th, which will be 8 p.m. GMT time, which is UK time. So for our folks in Detroit, what time is that for them?
So it'd be on
noon.
3 p.m. here in Detroit, Eastern Standard Time. But this is a worldwide show, and I will put a link in the show notes directly to the show because, I have listeners all over the world. It's pretty cool. So this is worldwide. Your show is worldwide. Click the link on the show notes. It'll take you to the show. So maybe check it out ahead of time so you can be ready to listen live because Parrish participates in the live chat room. Yes?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Now, what happens after the show airs is that there is a playback link that's generated. And the way your listeners can access that is go to mixcloud.com from Google search. Just go to Mixcloud.
I won't have the show link until after it airs.
Right. So
this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the previous show in the show notes, the link to the June show.
The June show.
And then after it airs, I'll actually update the show notes. So I'll put it in there.
There you go. And in general, for your listeners that can't tune in live, go to the Mixcloud platform and just search for Parrish James Midweek Special. And then all of my shows that I've done for House FM will pop up.
I'll put the link in the show notes for that too. I'll put a link in the show notes for all the pertinent places and how to find you.
Okay.
Like I'll do the back end. I'll do the legwork and put a link directly to your show on Mixcloud.
Aw.
Well,
You're such a doll.
Well, that's standard practice here, Parrish, in the podcast world.
But when I tell you everybody, when I tell you everyone doesn't go the extra yard like that, it's really true.
That's the only way I know. That's the only way I know how to do it. You do it right, or you don't do it at all. You know.
There you go.
So where else can people tune in to hear you play?
Well, there are 3 other outlets where I provide DJ mixes. House FM, I'm actually hosting and mixing. But the other 3, it's just purely a DJ. So those platforms are Essential Radio, Cyber Jams, and We Get Lifted.
Okay. And I'll put a link to the show notes, in the show notes for all of those. And what about DJing? You DJing anywhere soon? Live?
Hopefully I'm coming your way sometime
Hopefully
next
Detroit.
year.
Yeah. Parrish is bringing me out of retirement, and we're going to get him booked here. Maybe a little Midwest tour, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for your
thank you. Thank you. It was my
patience
pleasure.
through this process. I'll be bringing on other people in my life that have either been
I love
choice.
you, Barbara. You know that.
I love you too.
You know that.
Any last parting words you'd like to add?
Again, thank you. I can't thank you enough. And thank your listeners for showing up for you consistently.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on
it's a wonderful thing.
Thank you so much for being here. Sending peace and love and grace and gratitude and health and abundance and prosperity to you all. Namaste.